Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Dennis. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of boring in its own, but I hope it make it more interesting to you because it's not a topic that a lot of people talk about, but it's important to know about. And it is simply cables. Okay, in this case, it's DisplayPort cables from a company called Silkland. All right, I'll get it out of the package, show you, and I'll explain to you why getting the right cable is important, especially if you're a gamer or doing some editing content where you're being very creative. You want the right cables to give you the right resolution. You have 5090s that are out there that if you don't have the right cables, they simply will not give you the same performance that you're hoping for. You spend all that money trying to get the perfect gaming resolution, FPS, all that kind of stuff. But if you have the wrong cables and you don't have these right cables, it's just not going to work for you. So let's have a look at them. I'll go over it a little bit and I'll explain it all to you. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just get them out. They come very nicely packaged. All right. Very simple, easy to open. And this is the bag they come in, so you could actually reuse that bag if you wanted to. So automatically they're not providing something to the landfill. There's something you can actually use. Okay, we're going to show you the cable. Okay, you can see the orange color, gold plated, the braiding, how it's all fit together to protect everything so it'll last you a long time. And something I want to point out is they're not super expensive. You can buy some of these cables that are going to cost you a fortune. And you know what? They're going to be no better than these. You're just going to pay more for them. All right, this is a great quality cable. It's flexible, but not so much that it won't stay in place. But you can move it around. It's easy. All right, something I truly like about it. Okay, DisplayPort, 80 gigabyte per second. All right, written on there just in case you have any questions on that part. Okay, get this one off, and we're going to untie that. So this cable is 6 feet 6 inches. All right, very well designed, and I wanted an extra cable because I tend to have my desktop quite a bit further away from my laptop or my desktop away from my monitor. And what I wanted to be able to do is for my test bench, when I'm always putting stuff on here, I might need that cable to reach a little bit further, so I asked them for a 10-foot cable. And that's exactly what's in here. Same kind of packaging, nothing to be lost on how you get it. You can reuse the bag, which I like the idea of being able to reuse it. And it also comes with DisplayPort 2.1 cable, 80 gigabyte per second, user manual. All right, so that's always a good thing to have. And we're going to get into it now. What's one of the big features of this? Okay, see how they nicely package that together to keep it in one spot when it's longer. All right, very good quality. Can't really go wrong with it. And the two of them combined, I don't know what more you could ask for. But I will point out some of the things you can get with it. So the short one is 6.6 feet, DisplayPort 2.0, and it is Visa certified. Okay, not every cable you get is going to be Visa certified. That is an important distinction. All right, I got this sent to me from the company, but you can get it on Amazon, and they're about like $24, $25 Canadian. So a lot cheaper for the American audience. Now, some of the key features you can get with the different lengths of cable that they have is you can get them at 54 gigabyte a second models. These ones, like I say, are 80. Resolutions up to 16K at 60 hertz, 8K at 120 to 165 hertz, and 4K at 240 to 480 hertz, depending on the model and DSC support. So your gaming features are going to be VRR, FreeSync, G-Sync, ALLM, FEC, DSC 1.2A, and for smooth tear-free motion. Now, somebody asked me the other day about these, and I said, well, what's the point? You can get cables anywhere. Yeah, you can, but they're not necessarily going to get good cables or ones that are going to work properly for you. You want cables that do the job. When these are hooked up, and I have had them hooked up. I just put them back in the package because they're easy to reseal. They work flawlessly. I didn't have any issues with them whatsoever. Now, I don't have a machine to test them to verify that they're better than other cables. I don't have that. If I did, I would show it to you. There may be somebody out there that has it, some other tech channel. I can think of one, but I don't want to really mention it at the moment. And of course, you got double braided nylon jackets, which are 10 times more durable than a PVC. So a little bit more looking, and I realized that Silkland DisplayPort cables do not have a latch. They're simply plug and play. They feature 24 karat gold plated connectors for signal quality and corrosion protection. Built with a 28 AWG tinted copper conductors and triple shielding for stable high-speed transmission. All right, they will withstand bending and wearing for long-lasting performance. All right, some of the monitors you might want to use it with are the Samsung Odyssey G8/G9, Rogue Swift, LG UltraGear, BenQ, Acer, Gigabyte, and HP Omen. And of course, many others. The GPUs, all the way from a 4090 down to 4070, the RX 7900 XTX or XT, and there's a whole host more cables that it will work with. Another thing that bandwidth and performance-wise, your 80 gigabyte per second models, all right, are for uncompressed 4K, all right, and you can go up to 16K at 60 hertz with DSC. Build quality is obviously really good. They are backwards compatible to DisplayPort 2.0 and 1.4, and they work with all major GPUs, and designed for high refresh gaming workstation displays and future-proof setups. So again, why does the 80 gigabyte per second model matter? Okay, if you're running a 240 hertz 4K monitor, you get an 8K display, or you want maximum future-proofing. Okay, the DP80 cable ensures you're not bottlenecked by bandwidth. It's also one of the first fully Visa certified DisplayPort 80 cables available on Amazon, which gives it a reliability edge over any generic DisplayPort 2.1 cables. So if you want to compare those, the 80 over the 54, of course the 80 is going to be a little bit better. You also get full support for HDR10 and HDR10 Plus. DSC, so display stream compression, 1.2A and above. HDCP, VRR, FreeSync, and G-Sync, like I mentioned earlier. And along with the different size lengths, the Silkland cables are available in 1.6 foot, 3.3 foot, 5 foot, 6.6, 10 foot, and 16.5 foot. Okay, those are it's pretty much going to cover the range of anything you're going to need. It's at a reasonable price that's going to work with your high-end gear and get the job done. And what I mean by future-proofing is you also have monitors now that can do 8K, and I don't know if they're available yet, but they will be soon, 16K monitors. So 8K, 16K monitors. That's pretty good. I don't know what is next after that. Obviously 32, so forth. But these cables will be able to work with those and give you the refresh rates that you need for your gaming, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the Visa certification is going to guarantee you the signal integrity and spec accuracy. Things that I don't have the ability to test, as I say, but those will matter to you. So dynamic HDR will enhance dark scenes and details, while your 32-bit audio and lossless surround sound pass-through will help you spot enemies in FPS games and AAA titles. These are the cables you want to have, in my opinion. I've been using them for a little bit now. My video should have been done a while back, but I wanted to really give them a good try. So, in my opinion, these are cables highly worth your money. And the other thing is, if you have any kind of problems with them whatsoever, they offer a 24-month service and provide tech support within 18 hours of you getting them to resolve any issues you might have, which will give you top-notch cables with exceptional customer service, something hard to find these days. And these are going to be cables I'm going to look for in the future as well. All right, so I know that's a lot of tack and specs and details on the cables, but I think those are details that you need to know. I've tried them out for a little bit. I had them for about maybe a week. Try them on a couple different systems just to see how well they work. And they work as I expect any DisplayPort cable would work. Are they working better? I can't determine that because I can't test them. But I didn't notice any tearing on the screen. I didn't notice any lag as a result of the cables, so that speaks high for it. And I did notice in one game in particular that I have had issues, that some of that was gone. All right, so that did help a little bit. Not going to make you a better gamer, okay? Nothing like that, but it will at least allow you, if you've spent the money on like a 5090, obviously more money than I got, or high-end 40 series even, you want cables that work with it that give you the maximum performance. These cables will do that for you. I'm running a 4070 and it works perfectly. All right. So if you're thinking about a cable, Silkland, DisplayPort 80 cables, and they have other cables too, I believe. So check those out. You can get them on Amazon. I think their pricing is in the right spot. It's not super expensive or anything like that. I'm happy with the price. I'm happy with the product. And I think you will be too. So if you like the video or if you have questions, put it in the comments. If you're new here, think about subscribing. Hit that bell. I'll get it right. For notifications in the future as videos continue to come up. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.